Hello viewers, today our topic is going to be mixtures and allegations. So in this topic we are going to look at problems related to mixtures and the concept of mixtures and allegations. Mixtures of allegation, the concept begins with grouping. So I'll take an example, then we'll start with analyzing that example. Let's say in a class of 50 students, I'm taking average here, average score of 20 members or 20 students, or let's say 20 boys. There are 20 boys and their average is 30, and the average score of remaining 30 are girls. Their average score is, let's say, 40. Average score of the entire class. Whole class. So see here, this is actually the basic of your mixtures and allegations concept. You call it as a grouping. First try to do it normally, then we'll try to explore the concept of mixtures and allegation by using this example. Now everyone know how do we find out the average of the whole class? The average of the whole class is nothing but, generally average means sum of observations by number of observations. So you have to find out the total score of boys and total score of girls. You have to divide it by number of members in the class. So total score of class divided by number of members in the class. So what is the total score of boys? So if you look at here, total score of boys, there are 20 boys and 30 is their average, therefore total score is 20 into 30, 600. Total score of girls is 30 into 40, that is 1200. Therefore the entire score of the class is 1800. Then after you divide it by, there are 50 members in the class, we say the average is 36, right? So this one, okay, it's a very simple form of grouping, but look at the concept behind this. We are multiplying first 20 into 30 plus 30 into 40, dividing it by 20 plus 30. Can I take common of anything from this? I can take a common of 10. If I take common 10, I am making it simple. 2 into 30 plus 3 into 40 divided by 2 plus 3. I have taken common of 10. Now 20 and 30 become 2 and 3. So we don't need to worry about the multiples. We just need to concentrate on the simplest values possible. So here it is 60 plus 120, 180 divided by 5. This one is 36 here. Here number of members in the first group is 20, number of members in the second group is 30. Here number of members here. Average of the first group is 30, average of the second group is 40. Always simplify the number of members in the first group and second group. It's 2, this is 3. So you can say 2 into 30 plus 3 into 40 by 2 plus 3 is equals to 36. So number of members in the first group and second group can be simplified. If you have any common factor between this number of members in the group, you can just make it simple by cancelling it. I am deriving a formula by using it. N1 is the number of members in the first group, A1 is their average. N2 is number of members in the second group, A2 is the average. I can extend this formula by taking N3, A3 also, but I am doing it for 2 groups. 2 groups you are mixing it. What is the combined average? N1 A1 plus N2 A2 divided by N1 plus N2, which is equals to capital A. Capital A is the whole average of these 2 groups, N1 and N2. So this is the formula. If you wish to find out the combined average, then it will always be N1 A1 plus N2 A2 by N1 plus N2. Suppose, how do I explore this formula further? N1 A1 plus N2 A2 cross multiply this N1 plus N2, send it that side, it becomes N1 into capital A plus N2 into capital A. Further I would say N1, you bring N1 here, N2 that side. It becomes N1 into small a1 minus capital A is equals to N2 into capital A minus A2. If you common negative from this, you'll also get N1 into capital A minus A1, N2 into A2 minus capital A. If I ask you, if I say this one is D1, if this is D1, this one is D2, you need to understand that each and every term in it, N1 and N2 are number of members in the group 1, group 2. A1 is the average of the group 1, A2 is the average of group 2, capital A is the combined average. Now what is N1 by N2? N1 by N2 is equals to D2 by D1, D2 by D1. Now we'll go for the formula directly of allegations. If I have N1 here, I'm writing number of members in the group 1 and number of members in the group 2, average of the group 1, average of group 2 and the combined average. What is the relation between them? First relation is you can say N1 into difference between these two and difference between these two. See, capital A should always lies in between your A1 and A2. It should be either the first case or else should be A1 should be greater than capital A should be A2. So your capital A should always be lies in between A1 and A2 because you're combining two groups. So your combined average should be rest in the average of A1 and A2. Okay, it should be in between A1 and A2 only. So when I say N1 into difference 1, this difference 1 and difference 2 should be positive differences you have to take. So this is D1 is equals to N2 into D2. You must take the positive differences. Suppose if I wish to get N1 is to N2 here, N1 is to N2. How do I find out the ratio? The general basic formula of allegations is you take the difference. Here difference between A2 and A, we say it is D2. We are taking D2 here. We are taking this difference D1 here. Now, can we say N1 is to N2 is equals to D2 is to D1? That's what we are okay, that's what we are getting here. It's all about grouping only. D2 is to D1. That is the reason we write average of the first group, average of the second group, average of the whole group combined. N1 is to N2 is respectively number of members in first group and the second group. Suppose how do I take the differences? Let's see here clearly. If I take N1 and N2, forget about N1 and N2. I have average 1 that is 30, average 2 that is 40. I take any number which is in between them, 33. So what is your D1? Positive difference you take it. D1 is 3. What is your D2? D2 is 7. So this is equal to D1, this is equals to D2. Sometimes I don't say anything, let's say 50, let's say 35 and I am saying capital A is capital A only. What is your D1? Will you write capital A minus 50 or 50 minus capital A? See here 35 is lesser, 50 is larger. Therefore, your A should be in between 35 to 50. So, A should be less than 50 and more than 35. Therefore, D1 is 50 minus A, your D2 is A minus 35. Like that you should be able to write because I need the positive difference. And writing positive difference is very, very important in this case. Suppose if I give you, this is 30, this one is 40, your A2 is equals to A2 only. Now, what is your D1? D1 is equals to 10 because you know the difference. Now, what is D2? Can I write 40 minus A2 or A2 minus 40 is very important. Here 30 is less than 40, therefore A2 should be greater than 40. So, the answer should be D2 should be A2 minus 40, right. So, I am telling you various ways how do we find out D1 and D2 and how do we put it. Now, the main important thing is these 5 variables N1, N2, A1, A2 and the capital A. This is the whole basis of your mixtures and alligation. Here I have taken an example for average, okay. But when it comes to mixtures, typical mixtures if you look at, now N1 becomes, suppose I have 10 liters of a mixture, let's say 10 liters of mixture, type 1 mixture which consists 20% milk in it. Another 20 liters of mixture which consists 30% milk in it. If you combine these two, okay, in the whole mixture, what is the percentage of milk present? Again it is the same thing, N1A1 plus N2A2 by N1 plus N2 you do it. So here in this case the number of liters is nothing but N1 and N2, and the percentage or the concentration is nothing but what? Your A1 and A2. I have type 1 alloy 50 kg in which 15 kg in which gold and copper in the ratio 2:3. I have a type 2 of alloy. I have another alloy 20 kg in which gold and copper ratio is 7:3. In resultant mixture, what is gold and copper ratio? Okay, so here I am giving it in ratio. In the first one I am giving it in averages. In the second case I am giving it in percentages. In the third case I am giving it in ratios. So it can also be asked in sometimes I would say profit, sometimes I would say interest. I can also give, suppose the same question can also be asked. I am giving 2000 rupees at 10% simple interest, 3000 rupees to another person at 20% simple interest. Put together how much percentage I will get for 5000. I am dividing 5000 into two parts, what is 2000 and 3000. Upon 2000 I am getting 10% interest, upon 3000 I am getting 20% interest. What is the whole interest? The whole interest can be solved by using N1A1 plus N2A2 by N1 plus N2. Here N1 and N2 are the principles that you have given. A1 and A2 are the percentages that you have given. Say you are buying two articles A1 and A2. Upon article 1 you are getting 20% profit. Upon article 2 you are getting 30% profit. What is the overall profit? You should know the prices. Okay, the prices of this. For example, it is 2000. This is 5000. Upon this you are getting 20%. Upon the second one you are getting 30%. What is the overall profit if I ask you? So then again it will be N1A1 plus N2A2 by N1 plus N2. Instead of buying, let's say you are selling an article which is 2000 rupees. Cost prices are 2000 and 5000. Upon the first one you are getting 20% profit, second one you are getting 30% profit. Overall how much you are getting? Okay. If I ask you like this, then it will always be what? N1A1 plus N2A2 by N1 plus N2. So mixtures and alligation not related only for mixtures. It can also be used in averages. It can also be used in percentages, profit loss, and ratio and proportions, sometimes in case of simple and compound interest also. Now, all these cases I have missed capital A. What is the combined percentage? If you mix two groups, what is combined percentage? Suppose sometimes they say the same question, average score of 20 boys is 30. We don't know what is the average score of girls. 30 girls, we don't know how much it is, but the combined average, if I say 36. So just now we have done the sum. Okay, we got the average as 36. We also know the x value is how much? 40, because we have seen this example here. So what we do here? We'll try to use the formula N1 D1 equal to N2 D2, 20 and 30. First case, the average of 20 boys is 30. This is x. Now the combined average is 36. Now what is missing? Here I can clearly say A2 is missing. Okay, I want the average of the second group. If A1 and A2 are missing, then you can always find it by using N1 D1 is equals to N2 D2. Any of these four are missing, you can always use the formula N1 D1 equal to N2 D2. If suppose capital A is missing, you don't need to write it like this. If capital A is missing, you can say N1 A1 plus N2 A2 by N1 plus N2, you can use it. Now first thing you have to do is make this simple. N1 and N2, always take the simplest values possible. Even if I give you 2000 members and 3000 members, make it simple by taking the ratio, because we know N1 and N2 simplest values will also work. Okay. See, in this case 20, 30 given, so it will be easy for you to do it. Suppose if I give you, this is, let's say 19 2s are 38, 19 3s are 57. By looking at only, it is difficult, right? But if I make it 2 and 3, it will be much more simple for you to solve. Now what is N1? What is the formula? N1 into difference between these two is 6. What is N2? 3. What is the difference between these two? 30 is lesser than 36. A1 is lesser than capital A means your A2 should be more than capital A. Therefore, x minus 36 I would say. Now 3 1s are, 3 2s are. X is equals to 36 plus 4, 40. And I already told you that it is 40 clearly, right? So if anything out of N1, N2, A1, A2 is missing, always use the formula N1 D1 is equals to N2 D2. Suppose they are giving you A1, A2, capital A, and they are asking about N1 is to N2. You know what is N1 is to N2 is? D2 is to D1. This is typical alligation problem. In what ratio you need to mix these two solutions in order to get the resulting mixture in certain concentration. They may say in percentages, they may say in terms of ratio, they may also say in terms of profit loss, they may also say in terms of averages. All means the same. So we'll try to explore more of this by using problems. So first we'll solve the problems by using averages, then after the problem based on percentages, then profit loss, then simple interest and compound interest, and typical ratio proportion problems also. Let's look at this question. See, here he says the average marks of 28 students in mathematics was 50. There were 28 students in the group, the average marks is 50. 8 students left the school, then this average increases by 5. 8 students left the school means how many students will be left over in the school? There are only 20 students left over in the school and their average is increases by 5, which means earlier average was 50, now the average of 20 members is 55, right? So he's asking you what is the average marks obtained by the students who left the school. Now always try to do it as a grouping. Now see, if 8 students left the school, how many members are there in the school? 20 members. Average of 8 students I have to find. Average of 8 students is how much? We don't know, we have to find. But average of 20 members, we know it is 55. Always write down the combined average in between. 28 members average is 50. So I know capital A is 50, therefore write it in between. Writing these values are very crucial thing in this allegations and mixtures. You should know where you have to put what. Here 28 you are separating it by using 8 members left. But see, if 8 members left, again how many members are there? 20 members are there. Therefore again if you combine them, it's gonna be 28. So 8 into, so simplify it. 4 2s are, 4 5s are. So 2 into 55 is more than 50, therefore 5 must be less than 50. X minus 50 minus x is equals to 5 into 5, 25. I would say 50 minus x is equals to 12.5. X is equals to 37.5 or 37.5 I would say, right? So the answer for this is 37.5 or 37.5. That is the average of the students who left the school. Look at this question. A and B are two alloys of gold and copper prepared by mixing the metals in the ratio 7:2 and 7:11 respectively. If equal quantities of the alloys are melted to form a third alloy C, the ratio of gold and copper in C will be. This question can be solved in various ways. First I am doing it by using mixtures and allegations only. Now look at here. Here the term equal quantities he said. Equal quantity means you are adding them in 1:1 ratio. Now gold and copper given. I don't need to take both of them at a time. I just need to take one of them at a time. So I am taking gold. What is gold in the first one in terms of parts? In terms of fraction, gold in the first one is 7 out of 9. What is gold in the second one? 7 out of 18 parts. In the resultant mixture, the formula says N1A1 1 into 7 by 9, N1A1 N2A2 divided by what? Divided by N1 plus N2, that is 2. Take the LCM. LCM gives you 18. So 9 2s are 14 plus 7 21. This 18 comes down 2 into 18. 21 by 36. Cancel it in 3 table. 7 by 12. So gold in the resultant mixture is 7 by 12. Therefore copper should be what? 5 by 12. Remaining is copper, right? So what is the ratio? The ratio of gold and copper in the resulting mixture is 7:5. So here he says equal quantities of alloys are melted to form a third alloy C. That is the reason we have taken 1:1. Suppose if you are mixing it in the ratio 1:2, what do you do? If they say 1:2, instead of this 1 and 1, you take 1:2 here. Therefore, you get 1 as N1, N2 is 2. Now, when they say equal quantities, you can do it in multiple ways. How do I do it when they say equal quantities? Let's take the ratio of gold and copper in the first one. It's 7:2. In the second one, it is 7:11. This is alloy 1, alloy 2. Okay. Now tell me, take a multiple. How many parts are there? 9 parts. How many parts are there? 18 parts. Take any number which is a multiple of 9 and 18. I am taking 18 kgs. If I take 18 kgs, tell me how much gold is there in this. 9 parts is 18 means each part is 2 kg. Here 7 parts, 7 2s are 14. I am dividing 18 in the ratio 7:2. How do I divide it? There are totally 9 parts. 9 parts is 18 means each part is how much? Each part is 2 kg. So 7 parts becomes 14 kg, 2 parts become 4 kg. Here 18 parts is 18 kg, therefore each part is 1 and 1 only. So 7 parts is 7, 11 parts is 11. I would say gold is 21, copper is 15. Directly you get the ratio 7:5. You can use the formula N1A1 plus N2A2 by N1 plus N2. When they say equal quantities, you can also take it by using values. Values will only work when they say equal quantities. If not, if they are asked, okay, if they ask you to mix them in the ratio 1:2, then this won't work. Okay. And one more thing, you just remember about this formula N1, N2, A1, A2, capital A. Out of these three, suppose if I have 50, 100, 70. What is the difference here? The difference is 20. The difference here is 30. D1 and D2 I am talking about. Or else if you take D to this side, the difference is 30. The difference is 20. What ratio we are mixing? We are mixing it in 3:2 ratio, right? Everyone know that if I give you A1, A2 and capital A, I am going to get 3:2 ratio. By looking at it, you can say the ratio is 3:2. Suppose if I subtract 50 from this, 50 from every value, if I do add 50 to every value also, if I add 50, it becomes 100, 150, then 120. Is the ratio changed? This is 30, 20 only. So 3:2 only, the ratio 30:20, 3:2 only. I am adding a value to every number, A1, A2, capital A. It's not changed. I can actually add, you can subtract, you can divide and you can multiply. You can check. By adding, subtraction, multiplication, division, the ratio will never change. Ratio remains the same. But why am I telling you this? So why am I telling you this? Because sometimes it will be like something like 2/7, like 5/7, then 3/7. Don't do it in terms of fraction. Multiply everything by 7, 7, 7. You end up with 2, 5, 3. Then you can easily find out the ratio. It is 2:1, N1:N2. Because this ratio is 2 here, this is 1. You can find out like 2:1. So we can multiply A1, A2 and capital A by any number that you want. Look at the next one. Again here, there are 3 containers of equal capacity. The ratio of sulfuric acid to water in the first container is 3:2, second one is 7:3, third one is 11:4. 1:1:1, therefore I can say sulfuric acid you take it in the first container 3 out of 5. In the second container it is 7 out of 10. In the third container it is 11 out of 15. Because 11 parts out of 15 parts. So find out the sulfuric acid here. N1A1 3/5, N2A2 7/10, N3A3 11/15 by 1 plus 1 plus 1 3. So you get sulfuric acid, take the LCM as 30, it becomes 90. 5 6 are 30, therefore it is 18. 10 3s are therefore it is 21. 15 2s are therefore it is 22. You get 61 out of 90. So if sulfuric acid is 61, therefore water becomes 29. The ratio is 61:29 because out of 90 parts, sulfuric acid is 61 means remaining is 29. Now look at this one. A typical form of mixtures and alligations here. Two alloys are both made up of copper and tin. The ratio of the copper and tin in the first alloy 1 is 1:3, second alloy is 2:5. In what ratio should the two alloys be mixed to obtain the new alloy in which tin and copper in the ratio 8:3? In the first, what is copper and tin? Alloy 1, alloy 2 and the total 1. I will take it as small a1, small a2, capital A. So, tin, okay, copper and tin is 1:3. Here copper and tin is 2:5. Here copper and tin, not tin and copper. Be careful here. He said tin and copper, but you have to take copper and tin. So, in the third alloy, the mixture is 3:8. But I have to take any one of it. I am taking what is copper ratio in everything. You can't take both at a time. So, I am taking copper in all. Copper in the first one is 1 by 4, copper in the second one is 2 by 7, copper in the third one is how much? 3 by 11. You can subtract it and check it, or else multiply everything with what? To multiply these three with 4 into 7 into 11. If I multiply everything with 4 into 7 into 11, first one will be what? 4 4 cancel, 7 11 is 77. Second one is what? 7 7 cancel, 44 into 2 88. Third one is what? 11 11 cancel. You can say 28 into 3 84. So the difference is 4 here. How much is the difference? Difference is 7. So you're adding them in what ratio? You're just adding them in 4:7 ratio. Even if you do it in terms of fractions, suppose, see here, 2 by 7 minus 3 by 11, it is n1 is to n2. 3 by 11 minus 1 by 4. LCM is this is 77. This becomes 1 by 77. Becomes 12 minus 11, 1 by 44. So it gives me 44:77, which is equals to 4:7. So far we have seen some problems based on profit loss, some problems based on averages. So in the next class, we are going to look at few more problems which are related to mixtures and alligations. Until then, thank you.